a few more hours ahead, it will be Friday. But before it's even Friday, it's good we talk about Thursday because God has been God all through. He has been a faithful God, and His grace and mercy endures forever. And I'm so happy. Each time I remember that God's mercies and grace endures forever, it gives me some sort of confidence to continue pushing. Iji Adamu is my name, and I'm reaching you live from the hills of ZINARIYA in Jos North Plateau State, Nigeria. Unity now 3.3 FM and Unity TV is Unity Train, by the way. And this program starts now, that is 8 o'clock a.m. We never stop until it is 9:30 a.m. And we have 3 segments to this entire program. The first 30 minutes is a review, and the second 30 minutes, it's a topic where we call it transit segment. And the last 30 minutes, it's where our listener gets to join the conversations. And I'm so happy that you are there. If you're going through some sort of health challenge, I pray that God remember you, not for judgment, but for healing. But of course, if you have what it takes, do visit a doctor. Thank you so much for being there. By the way, we are streaming live on Facebook. Just connect with us at Unity Radio FM/TV Jaws. And for YouTube, just go Unity FM TV. In the studio, you know I don't do this alone. And so I have in the studio to my right hand side is Barrister Paul Zaruma. And he'll be coming your way with a very big good morning. Morning, sir.
Good morning, listeners and viewers. Depending on where you are receiving us, good afternoon, good evening. I do wish you a blissful day, and thanks for having me here this morning.
Remember, Thursday, the 18th day in the month of April, the year 2024. It happens to be the last month in the first quarter of the year. Professor Pavena Hayes Obama, he is in the studio, and you know he's settled at nothing less than a big good morning. So get ready for another big good morning coming your way this morning.
Well, let me start with you. Good morning, Kubi.
Morning,
Have you eaten today?
God's willing, sir.
Viewers and listeners, a big good morning to you. Have you eaten? If you don't have food to eat, well, try to get some food, maybe from your neighbor,
yes,
or some friends or somewhere. But don't give up on life. So we are glad that you're joining us on 93.3 FM radio and Unity TV. Those on cable TV, we're happy that you're tuned to this broadcast. Those on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching us from around the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're glad that you're part of this fantastic broadcast today on Unity Train. And this Unity Train is taking us to a fantastic destination. And we'll be having a very fantastic time together this morning. So invite your neighbors, invite friends, invite colleagues, tell somebody that the broadcast has started. And let me quickly remind you of your goals, your objectives, your dreams for 2024. How far, so far, have you gone? Remember that young lady? Pelumi Nubi. Her goal, her dream was to drive from London to Lagos in 2024. It was a smart objective, smart goal, because it was specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. Before Pelumi Nubi, Kunle Adenju had done it 41 days on motorcycle from London to Lagos. Babatunde Tomori had done it with a Danfo bus from London to Lagos. In fact, many years ago, a Nigerian had done it in the 70s. Professor Mohammed Aminu Dorai drove a 504 saloon all the way from London till he got to Kano. He's still alive today. So, Pelumi Nubi decided to try it, and she achieved it. What about that, your dream? New house, you want to build a house, you want to get married, you want to write a book, you want to do something new, something special, something nobody has done before? Go ahead and do it. Be a man and a woman of vision, a man and a woman of passion, a man and a woman of action. And don't give up when you meet obstacles on the way. Winners don't quit. Quitters never win. So therefore, perspire to acquire what you require in life. If you don't acquire, don't retire. Keep refiring again and again and again and again. And always remember to be the change that you want to see in the world.
Thank you so much, Prof, for taking us on such a wonderful ride already. And still talking about your passion, you would need to do something, do the needful, so that you spice it up with some actions. Else, it will just be a fantasy, some sort of intentions, and that you will not want it to be. So let peace be your unavoidable companion. Every day on, be deliberate about your desire to have a peaceful atmosphere, peaceful coexistence. That's what we promote even on this platform. Very quickly, it's time for us to begin to look at issues as we have them trending. There are several issues, but of course we have just but few. When the time comes and you will start calling, you could even draw our attention to any other issue that probably we will not be able to take up on this review segments. And we have students learning, we have APC crisis, we have Naira abuse, and that also has to do with, recently, this same story has to do with Bob Risky. Okay, and then we have IMF reviewed Nigerian economy growth to 3.3%, lots more. But then, let's just begin just anywhere. Prof has always encouraged that we can begin from just anywhere. All right, just anywhere by Mr. Paul Zaruma. Which is the just anywhere that we should begin today's review?
Well, I think on the issue of the suspension of APC's national chairman, Ganduje, by his word, there are so many issues that are coming up. So many questions and unanswered questions hanging around and then leading to a lot of controversy. Questions like before the suspension, was Ganduje actually given a fair hearing? You know, was a committee set up? You know, was it just an ambush kind of suspension? And obviously, of course, even those, the party executive that suspended him never in any way claimed that they have given him fair hearing by inviting him and said, yes, these are some allegations against you, you have to answer. And then according to the APC constitution, if you want to suspend a member of the party, first of all, there must be a complaint against the person.
All right.
The complaint may either be oral or formal, that is in written. So the APC constitution accommodates oral complaint. So, and in that case, if the constitution says there must be a complaint, then the complaint must also be from somebody. It shouldn't be a ghost. There must be also a complainant. So, in this case, we have not heard of anybody being the complainant. We have not had, and then again, the constitution said once the constitution and the complaint is received, the person that is complained of will be notified of the complaint within 7 days from the date of receipt of that complaint. And immediately they receive that complaint, then he also have another 7 days to respond to the complaint. Which if he did not respond, a committee will be set up to investigate him.
All right.
So, and then, of course, being a national chairman, the committee has the power to suspend him pending the investigation, so that he will not use his official influence to manipulate the investigation. So the question is, have they followed all these processes? Well, there is no any evidence that they have followed these processes.
Have not.
Now, so you can see that even the suspension, something is fundamentally wrong.
Wrong with the suspension.
Yes. Now, be that as it may, the Constitution also outlined the areas where Ganduje can extend his grievances where he is not comfortable with the suspension. He will go to the local government appeal committee to complain that, look, I'm not comfortable with the decision of the ward executive.
Right.
And where the local government appeal committee overrule him, he also have another lifeline. He can go to the state executive set-up appeal committee. And from the state executive set-up appeal committee, being a national officer, he can also go to the national appeal committee, where it will be the final stage for where it
whatever
determine
to settle his
to settle it.
All right.
And before you go to court, because the same APC constitution frowns at a situation whereby you did not explore all this avenue provided by the party mechanism, and then you will now jump to constitutional court. And unfortunately, the matter have already somersaulted into the court. And the court has given an order yesterday that Ganduje should stop parading himself as party chairman. So you can see, and then also that same yesterday there was protest and counter-protest at the National Secretariat of the APC. So you can see how controversial the whole thing is becoming. The coming days will be very, very dramatic for the APC. And such issues, if not properly handled, could result to something awful. So we don't pray that we wish them well, that they should, because as long as national politics is concerned, APC is the ruling party, and if the ruling party is being bedeviled with this kind of crisis, then I wonder what will happen.
So you have a feeling that this has the capacity to affect even governance in some way, Prof?
Yeah, talking about the suspension of Ganduje, actually, they said there was a petition that was written from an APC member, from his ward, if I remember his name, one Aminu also, petitioned the ward officials. You know, the ward officials that suspended Ganduje, nine executive members at the ward level, suspended Ganduje, and part of these executives include their legal advisor. You know, he belongs to the Dawakin Tofa local government area ward in Kano State. So they explained that they received a petition against Ganduje, which they decided in their own way to investigate. What they were explaining is that they feel that they should suspend Ganduje so he can defend himself because of litigations that are arising as a result of his so-called, corrupt allegations against him. Well, in 2018, there was a video circulating in which Ganduje was seen collecting dollars. In fact, then people nicknamed him Gandola. And then 2-3 years later, by 2021, 2022, forensic analysis showed that the video was not doctored, that the video was original and accurate. Ganduje has not been able to come out to defend himself and really clear his name,
that issue has
about that dollar. In addition to that, the current governor of Kano State has raised a lot of allegations. Abba Yusuf has raised a lot of corrupt allegations against Ganduje. And in fact, they have ordered for an investigation of Ganduje. And so you have these cases against him. They're going to court. They'll be dragging Ganduje, to the court of law, as the investigations go on. So according to the Dawakin Tofa Ward Council executives, they feel that this is tarnishing the image of the party. And they feel that being that is his ward, Ganduje's ward, he should be suspended. Let him go and answer all these queries against his name, instead of parading himself as a national chairman and distracting, the party. More so, according to them, they said His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is trying to fight against corruption. And how can he have the local standard, the onus, the moral right to fight corruption when the national APC chairman is being accused of corruption? That it doesn't make sense. So they feel Ganduje should just step aside, face the charges, clear his name, and clear the name of his family first, before he can think of continuing as APC national chairman. So they of course seem to have a point, and but of course this declaration by the ward, Dawakin Tofa ward of Kano State, was made on Monday. And these ward officials, 9 of them, addressed a press conference on Monday. And by the following day, the state executive has suspended them also. So the drama continues. Well, as of yesterday, the court of law has said, like Barrister Zaroma rightly pointed out, that Ganduje should stop parading himself as the APC national chairman. So as far as the law is concerned, as of now, Ganduje is not the national chairman of APC. If he feels that he still is, he has to go and get another injunction that says that he is, because there is a subsisting order of the court at present that he's not the national chairman. You know, this is what we're talking about when we're talking about Plateau State. That the Honorable Speaker should swear in the APC members, because as far as the law is concerned, they are the members of the Plateau State House of Assembly. Thank God that he has sworn in 9. We're waiting for the outstanding. We will not forget that those other ones should be sworn in also. All right, so we keep talking about it. So as it stands now in the eyes of the law, as far as the judgment of the Kano State High Court is concerned, yesterday, Ganduje, Abdullahi Ganduje, ceases to be the APC national chairman. Of course, at the national headquarters, like Barrister said, there was a protest and a swift reaction, still insisting that Ganduje is the APC national chairman. They are only saying it, let them go to court and prove that he is. And they are saying that the people who went to court are faceless, they are fake, they are, you know, these politicians. Once they want to have their way, they will say anything. But if you have evidence, go to court. Talk through the court. Don't just stand there and say, as far as we're concerned, Ganduje remains the APC chairman. It doesn't matter what happens and all that. No, that doesn't hold water as far as the law is concerned. This is not we do a lot of lawless things in this country, but this is not a lawless country. We have a law. We have a constitution that we follow. So if those APC loyalists of Abdullahi Ganduje are not satisfied with the ruling of the court, they should go to a higher court and get a counter, order against that of the Kano State High Court to prove that Abdullahi Ganduje is still the APC national chairman. So as far as the law is concerned today, Ganduje is the former chairman of the APC. So he, as far as the law is concerned, he is not the national chairman of the APC. So I think that APC, being the ruling party, should put the house in order. Let them clean all the mess. We are not expecting all these distractions. We have too many things. Bandits are fighting against the country. Look at Boko Haram, ISWAP. Look at the kidnappers. Look at all the attacks, gunmen or non-gunmen of all kinds. The villages, the cities, the villages, there is no safety. Look at food crisis in the country. Look at all the problems. See what the APC national officials are saying. Instead of commending petition by the whole of just condemn that person. This is of the APC. If you prove that you are show your card, and they have their cards. They have shown that they are card carrying members. Their names are there. They're officials. Prof. So you cannot say they're faceless. I think they're fake and all that. I think that the APC national officials don't really have anything tangible to say, and so they want to distract us.
Except if Pozaruma has something.
I like the interesting revelation by Prof that actually there was a complainant.
Yes, there was.
Because as at yesterday, just like you said, politicians will always want to have their ways. Some of them were saying there was no known complainant.
Yes, and
and then you keep on saying these persons are faceless. You cannot say because you are a national official or a state official, then that give you the audacity to know all the party members in the party. It's not practically possible. For instance, I am the APC secretary in Just Not. I don't know all the APC members in Just Not. So I cannot just conclude without an investigation or without looking at the records to say, okay, this person is either a member or this person is not a member. There are in Kano State, for instance, APC have over 300,000 membership. So can you say you know each of them? You cannot know each of them. Without that investigation, you cannot call a card-carrying member a faceless person. Right. That is tantamount to it can also lead to court action. Now again, apart from even going to appeal, it has even not gotten to the stage that they will even appeal the decision. Right. This is an order that was gotten by way of motion ex parte. So they can go to the same court and say, no, this ex parte order, one or two things are missing. So they set it aside. And in any case, the ex parte order usually have a lifespan. It has a lifespan of 7 days. So within the 7 days, let them follow due process in solving this problem. But if they go out there and are casting aspersion, before they know, the cat will be swept under their feet. Because in another breath, they are also accusing NNPP for instigating this violence. Now, of course, to me, if they go to court, they have a very good case. What is the case? 9 members does not constitute a quorum by the APC constitution. Now, the APC constitution talk about a quorum to be a simple majority. And each APC executive at the ward, they have 27 members. So if you have 27 members, you know that 9 members cannot form a quorum. So even if they go to court with only that argument, at least they will, I'm giving them a free legal so they can, the court can trash that suspension, because even the working committee of APC, they are 13. So these 9 members, they are not even up to the working committee of the ward. So they should be very tactical about it. But if they go on a blanket approach, I think they are already losing it already.
Okay,
and then again, APC appointed the Ganduje and co to serve as national executive within 6 months. And now they have not extended it. These people have outstayed the period they are even supposed to stay. So I wonder what the national officers are saying. Anything they act upon after that 6 months is an illegality. So in fact, that what is even helping APC to address its problem. Those ward executives. So let them look at it very carefully so that they will not plunge the party, so that the party will not nosedive into...
Zaruma, I know very well that this is one thing you can take us for even more than 3 hours, and we'll still be learning a lot on it. But why don't we look at the students' loan issue?
The student loan scheme. We're expecting 1.2 million students to benefit from this loan in the next few weeks to few months. The fund officials said that they're ready. Because the president has already signed the bill into law after it was approved by the House. The procedures have been laid out very clear, and how the loan will be repaid, the students will start repaying 2 years after youth service. That gives them some little leverage of time to probably settle down, but of course we know that in this country that is not enough, because what is the guarantee? That 2 years after service, they would have had a job.
Start paying.
And no one will be able to start repaying the loan. So, again, this loan is going to cover the school fees and living expenses of the students. They are supposed to, the funding agency set up by the federal government will be paying the school fees of the students directly to the institutions, not giving them the money, because if you give students the money, trust students, some of them will not pay. So they will pay the school fees directly to the institutions. But the living expenses will be given to the students. Feeding, money, transport, and other things. If the students choose to mismanage it, that will be their own problem. And from what we've seen superficially, in this bill, it is going to make the students relatively comfortable. So they will be able to afford education in all the high institutions, within the country. But because we, academic staff of universities, feel that it is wonderful to think of giving a loan, but there is no guarantee of how the loan will be paid. What happens if the students are not able to pay back the loan? What are you going to do? Are you going to arrest them? Are you going to put them in prison? And what happens if in the process, for example, nobody pays for it? After graduation, the student dies. You force the parents to pay, or some guarantor, somebody. These are things that we should look at. But what we feel is that why don't you give scholarships, grants to students, instead of giving them a loan? Are we not rich enough? Don't we earn trillions of naira every month from oil, and other sources? Can't we set aside a small amount, and give these students grants, scholarships, sponsor them, let them do their studies, and if you like, you can put them under bond to serve Nigeria. They'll be happy to serve if you give them a job, and the jobs are not even there. The federal government said that this student loan scheme will be sponsored from the revenue of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, and from just 1% of what they'll be generating. In fact, that 1% amounts to, I think, about $1 trillion. But they say for a start, they have set aside already, as we are talking, over 200 billion naira is already ready to start disbursing, to the students. So, but again, as rich as Nigeria is, why do we want to start operating like America? Because the example they give is that in America, student loans are given. In Britain, maybe Australia, student loans. Those are developed countries. Those are countries that have less than 3% unemployment, less than 4%, 5% unemployment rate. Why do you want to compare yourself with them? In Malaysia, for example, unemployment rate is less than 2%. And that 2% are those who are changing from one job to the other. Now, why do you want to compare Nigeria with those countries where we have unemployment rate in Nigeria among the youths? 40% unemployment rate among the youths in Nigeria. And you want to give them loan. When are they going to finish paying back the loan? Now, we see graduates parading our streets. They have masters. They even have PhDs. If I tell you the number of applications of people who call me from time to time, what is your qualification? They have a first degree. They have a master's. They even have a PhD. And they don't have a job. We have people with masters and PhD who are teaching in secondary schools. Even here in Jos, a young man is teaching in one of the secondary schools. He's doing his PhD. Maybe he has rounded up by now, because this was even a few years ago. I said, what are you doing? You are doing a PhD and you're teaching in a secondary school? But that's the only job he can afford. And that is a private school. And you know how much they pay in some of those private schools here in Jos? I've interacted, asked some of the teachers, how much is your salary? 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. So giving this loan and making these youths to repay back the loan is going to come with a lot of challenges. So that is why we are appealing to the government. Let's think about something. Can we give bursaries, give scholarships, give grants to these students instead of loans? Except if the government is thinking in the future that if the students are not able to pay back the loan, they will write off the loan.
Maybe sometimes if it's already let loose that it's grants, of course, maybe you would have it, the pressure will be that much. We have just a minute to be out of here for this segment.
Yes, just within a minute, I think Prof has done justice to that issue of loan. Let me just add, the repayment commences according to the law, commences 2 years after your NYSC. Now, just in line with what Prof said, can you be able, how many people are able to secure a job 2 years after NYSC? How many people in Nigeria? We have people 10 years now, they are still roaming the state after graduating. We have so many young men out there. So, in fact, it has made some people to say in social media parlors, saying that education in Nigeria is a scam. Because when they were in school, they thought if they just graduated, the next thing is they will get employment. They will get employed. And then they are roaming. So how would an unemployed youth repay this loan? But let's say that when we get to the bridge, we will cross. Because it's better you receive the loan than for you to be a dropout. Because recently someone was telling me how some students are crying because they were refused to write the exam because they did not pay their school fees. So you can see this loan will be a kind of leverage for some of those students. Students are not finding it funny. And I learned that so many students drop out from UJ recently, because it used to be that you can be paying your school fees in badges, but the new policy is that you have to pay your school fees upfront and present the receipt before you even allow access to the exam hall. So with such things, so many students have dropped. So instead of having dropout, it's better we have students who have received loan to graduate. But by the repayment method, when we get to the bridge, we will
cross it when we.
But some of the policies of the repayment, frankly, they are unrealistic and unattainable, considering the economic reality in Nigeria.
Well, according to Barrister Zaruma, it's good to be unemployed graduate. Well, that's what it seems to be. But it's 8:30 and it's time for us to go on a short break. In case you're just joining us, it's Unity 93.3 FM. And stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way. It concerns you. It a kill love, it a kill dreams. It a land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to say welcome back. And in case you're just tuning on, this is Unity 93.3 FM from the hills of ZINARIYA here in just North Plateau State, Nigeria. Iji Adamo remains my name, but you can just call me Kubi and I'll be just fine in the studio. It has been the Barrister Paul Zaruma and the Professor Paveno H. Mayi, and this is the second segment of Unity Trend this morning, and it's going to last for another 30 minutes, and we would be discussing, looking at issues that border around insecurity. And so we just put it cabin with insecurity. That's what we'll be looking at. But before we do that, let's just visit issues around politics. This time around, not just APC, but let's look at what is happening between the PDP. Let's know the Wikis and the Atikus as we have it there, and let's see what it is. And by the way, we are streaming live on Facebook. Just connect with us at Unity Radio FM/TV Jaws, and for YouTube, Unity FM TV. Thank you for always being there. Let's do this together. So, over to you about the Wikis, PDP, and I'm sure is it NEC or whatever meetings? Yes. I think it's supposed to be anytime soon.
To start today. PDP is in crisis, just like APC. It looks as if the fight, if I will call it, or disagreement or quarrel between the Wike camp and the Atiku camp has not ended up to today. Yesterday they had a meeting, but the matter is still rearing its head into the neck that is about to begin. It is unfortunate that PDP has not been able to put the house in order for years now. PDP was the ruling party in Nigeria between 1999 to 2015 when Buhari took over of the APC with that mighty coalition that brought Muhammadu Buhari to power as the president. PDP held sway for 16 years. In fact, they were boasting that time that they will rule Nigeria for the next 60 years, if not forever. And they used to brag about being the largest party in Africa. So, I think it got into their heads, and they felt that nobody can remove them from power. Especially considering the caliber of men of timber and caliber that came together to form the PDP in the 90s, including a famous son of Plateau State, the legendary Solomon Lar, was part of that group. You're talking about the senior Yaradua, Shehu Yaradua, in the early 90s when this metamorphosis was taking place. You're talking about the likes of Jerry Ghana, and many others, that were nursing the idea of having a fantastic party that will provide solution to the problems of Nigeria. And finally, with the democratic era coming in 1999, we had the PDP. And it did not take them too long to win elections all over the country and to run the government. But now, PDP is in a lot of crisis. But let's give it to men like Wike. Wike, since he joined the PDP in 1998, has not left the party. Even as it is now that he is serving under an APC government as the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, he still claims that he's a member of the PDP. So Atiku, on the other hand, has been shuttling between parties here and there. He has been in PDP, he has been in APC, he has been in that time they were called the Action Congress. I think he's just been moving around. Any party that is ready to field him as presidential candidate, he will just go there. So now that is a problem. Now PDP members are saying that for them, and this is not all the PDP members, but a good number of the PDP officials that are coming for the NEC in Abuja are saying that for them to give their full support to PDP in 2027, they want a guarantee that Atiku Abubakar will not be the flag bearer of the party. They're saying enough of Atiku Abubakar. Let somebody else be the presidential flag bearer of the party. But you and I know that His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, you will not easily convince him not to want to become the flag bearer. Why? He has been vice president twice. The only thing left for him is a Milokon. This is my turn to be president. So, as far as Atiku Abubakar is concerned, if Bola Ahmed Tinubu can be president, I am even more qualified to be because I've been a vice president already. So by 2027, I think Atiku Abubakar will be saying, this is my Milokon. It is my turn to be president. But he's going to have a real fight because a good number, substantial number of members of PDP and current, serving senators, members of the House of Rep, and governors are not in support of that ambition. Now, this is dividing the party, and this is weakening the party. And I wish sometimes that politicians can put, the interest of Nigerians and even the interest of their own party above their own selfish interest. But you see, in this country, politicians are generally selfish. And if something will not benefit them, they will not support it. If it will benefit them, you will see them supporting it.
And Prof, again, well, that's to talk about the crisis at the national level. What about on the plateau too? There's factions, and you seem to wonder if that too has been solved. Well, that's on the plateau.
They're trying to solve it, but they have not solved it. That's what is causing all this confusion, This is what has taken us from one court to the other to the Supreme Court. The crisis started from the PDP, from their own camp themselves. It is from the PDP that somebody petitioned. It's from the PDP that somebody went to say, okay, there is no structure. The Congress was not well conducted and all that. It is a member.
Has not been
somebody aggrieved in the PDP that left the PDP that went and started those crises. So PDP really need to put their house in order. Otherwise, they will keep having this problem at all levels.
And then we start talking about how it affects governance again. Because for us, what we care so much is about governance. But of course, you cannot do away if there is crisis anywhere with the parties. And then you have it also reflecting in governance.
Well, some of these crises, they are essential element of politics.
Again,
yes.
here you have it.
and then if well properly managed, it will not affect governance, because the critical players in the fight are the party executive, and in which in most cases they are not political appointees. That is why if they appoint a party executive to become maybe a state executive or giving one, he will have to leave his office, and someone will go and act there, because you cannot mix the two. The battle will be very tough for you. This is a crucial NEC that is about to take place. They are expecting over 100 people. You know, the NEC is very large. All state governors, two senators from every senatorial zone that are from PDP, principal members of House of Reps, principal that are from PDP, principal members from Senate that are from PDP, former vice president, former president that are members of PDP. So you can see that a combination of this is a very large number. So they are expecting not less than 100 people to be into this NEC. And if you look at it, it's not only APC, PDP. The third opposition, the third force, Labour Party, is also engrossed.
Yes, they too.
Yeah. So you can see that these are all crises that are coming up
according to essential ingredients.
So we are here. We are expecting governance, but the politicians are thinking of 2027.
Yes.
So yes, this is just to put some indices in place for the 2027. You know, because if they get it wrong now, then they are getting it wrong in 2027.
And I see.
So if it is not properly managed, you know, it's not going to be funny for them. Now, if you look at what is happening now in the PDP, you know, it used to be Atiku versus Wike, but now also in the PDP there is a growing third force. And that third force is very strong. That is the elected governors now. The elected governors have formed another force, and it is a very formidable force. The likes of the governor of Bauchi, who is their chairman, the likes of governor of Zamfara, the likes of governor of Plateau State, governor of Delta, all of them, they are now, governor of Edo, they are now coming to form a very strong force. And you know, of course, the force of the Wike cannot fight this combined force. So this emerging third force is going to...
It's one big shot for PDP.
A lot of expectation on the outcome. And you know, PDP also like APC, you know, HAUSA, we said, because just like APC are having an acting chairman, PDP also are having, since the removal of Iyocha and PDP have not conducted a mini congress to replace their chairman. So they are also battling with an acting chairman. So let's see how the battle goes.
Yes, and you may want to also talk about the recent visit of the former governor of Kaduna State to SDP. Remember, and that's too, somehow, you know, if we will go on politics, and I think all of our time would be on politics, but I would want us, because of the vision of this very organization, Unity 93.3 FM, let's just have this little time to talk about curbing with insecurity. You may put it in Plateau, you may put it in Nigeria. Whatever you put it there, but we'll be talking about curbing with insecurity. So let's just give us this time for it. Prof.
Yeah, could be. Within 10 years, you know, we are celebrating 10 years anniversary of the kidnap of the Chibok girls. That this event happened between 14th to 15th April 2014. And we've been talking about this 10 years. But do you know that while we are talking about 10 years of these Chibok girls kidnapped, within these 10 years, there's been a kidnap of at least 1,680 school pupils and children, students and pupils. At least 1,680 have been kidnapped. That's the ones officially reported. The number is even much larger than that. Because this year alone, how many hundreds have been kidnapped? Insecurity in our schools, insecurity in places of work. The other day we were talking about a lecturer in University of Maiduguri that was slaughtered, massacred, killed in his office at the University of Maiduguri.
Insecurity.
So we're talking about people who have died in the marketplaces. We're talking about Boko Haram, ISWAP, what do you call them, bandits in the northwest, hip-hop in the southeast, even recently in the southwest. We've had some people who call themselves Yoruba Nation agitators that stormed into the House of Assembly and tried to put a flag of a Yoruba Nation that they have declared Odua Republic, Yoruba Republic as of 12th April 2024. We had them. You know, they were armed, they were even wearing military camouflage, and they wanted to go and take over the government, that they have a Yoruba Republic. We have all this insecurity, you know, around the country. What is happening up to today? We're still talking more than 10 years after we're talking about Sambisa Forest. I mean, what is unique about that Sambisa Forest that these terrorists, Boko Haram and ISWAP, are still hiding there to this day? Could be. Sambisa Forest, I have been there several years ago. I was in Sambisa Forest about 25 to 30 years ago. That forest is so big. What are all those trees they're talking about? Are not tall trees, they're shrubs. That's not a big, densely, when they say Sambisa Forest, you'll be thinking of a densely populated forest with trees that are reaching up to the sky. No, what I saw were shrubs. And Sambisa Forest, they make it look so big. What is big about Sambisa Forest? Sambisa Forest is 518 square kilometers. 518 square kilometers is about the size of Just Not. Now, the size of Just Not, are you telling me that the military cannot comb the whole of Sambisa Forest? Can they turn Sambisa Forest into a military training ground? Do you know that if we were just combing Sambisa Forest, 1 square kilometer a day, 1 square kilometer a day, 1 square kilometer, even a week, by now we'll have finished with the whole of Sambisa Forest. 10 years after, we're still talking about Sambisa Forest. And we're still allowing terrorists that they will run and hide in Sambisa Forest. They'll even build some huts, you know, raise some tents and build houses, and that the military has to only bomb them from the air, and once in a while bomb them from the air, and then go to sleep. Are we serious?
Go to re-strategize.
Go to re-strategize. You know, they will say it's a technical maneuver. They'll just retreat, and all that. But you see, except we do something drastic and decisive about insecurity in the country, we'll be back here talking about more kidnaps, more terrorist attacks, again and again and again, because I don't see what plan the government has put in place to curb insecurity, and with a timeline that from so date to so date, this is what we're going to do. From so date to so date, this is what we're going to do. And this is, by this time, we expect that all the kidnappers, all the terrorists, the bandits will have cleared them. Can the federal government of Nigeria today, can our security forces give us a timeline and tell us that by so date, we will not be having bandits in Nigeria?
And you just this revelations about some other separatist group now coming up to say we're declaring Yoruba nations or republic or whatever. Now again, you have lots of others coming up. Every day you wake up with new kind of people coming together just so not to support developmental issues in this country, but just to help deteriorate or to bring it down.
Absolutely, so that's what we are.
This has to do with the trust issue. It's like the people are beginning to fed up in the security strategy or whatever it is, because you hardly could see it happen, winding down.
You see, insecurity that we're talking about. IPOB in the southeast, they want Biafra Republic. In the southwest, Yoruba Republic or Odua Republic. The south, we don't know what they will call their own republic, Niger Delta Republic. Now, Middle Belt, we'll have the Middle Belt Republic. Maybe then Cornwall will have an Arewa Republic. You know,
North Central is turned into Middle Belt.
So you become, this is a problem. And you know, the reason for this agitation is because of insecurity. If people were secured, there is peace in the country, the nation is flourishing and prospering, who cares about who is the president? who is the governor of the state. When the people are enjoying, they will not be thinking of having republics, and all that. Go to other small nations that are doing well. Some of them, they don't even know they don't care about the religion of their president. Go to Senegal. The president is 44 years old. He just came into power. Look at the way they're dealing with drug traffickers, and the way they're dealing with people that are dealing with in money, forged money, fake currencies. Just within the short time he just came into office, look at the celebration of the country. Look at the way the economy has just picked up, at incredible speed. Look at the way they're celebrating, and he comes from a minority ethnic group in Senegal.
Okay, but here you have it, and you ask this question again. With all these separatists, with all this group to have our own side of the country, and will it help? Why don't we join forces, Barrister?
Yes.
Why not? Is this the best way to tackle insecurity instead?
Yes, I think let me start by commending the governor of Nasarawa recently, where he said that he will not tolerate an ethnic vigilante group within Nasarawa state. By the time we begin to have ethnic security or ethnic vigilante group, then they will in no distant time metamorphose to ethnic militias, and then we'll be heading the way of Rwanda. We have been talking about this issue of Rwanda. The lessons from Rwanda cannot be overemphasized. Now, if we do not take steps like the governor of Nasarawa is taking now, if we begin to have this tribe have their own vigilante group, the other tribe have their own vigilante group, then I assure you that we are heading towards a disaster. So we should not tolerate such kind of a thing. Now, what usually leads to this? That's the question many people are asking. It is the failure of government to protect the people, and so if the government is doing its work in protecting the citizen, if our security apparatus are avoiding these excuses they are giving, we can no longer take excuses. So excuses now, as long as Nigeria is on the edge of the precipice. If we continue with these excuses, this country is heading nowhere. And then these people will come, because it's not easy when you are sleeping with your wife, with your children, and then they will come and attack you. Look at the horrible things that happen, even here in Plateau. Attackers will come meet a woman frying maybe chin-chin for Christmas. Then they will carry her child and throw inside the chin-chin. It's not everybody that will see such gory and unpresentable pictures. And will not want to do anything. So the government have to lead from the front. They have to take responsibility. Yes. No room for excuses. They have been entrusted with the life of people. Yes, we appreciate the fact that many of them have sacrificed their life, many of them have sacrificed their family life, many of them, but honestly by now we don't expect to hear excuses like soldiers are receiving only, or security forces generally are receiving only 2,000 as daily allowance, or their salaries have not been paid, or recently Femi Falana was complaining that over 300 soldiers are under detention. What are you detaining them for? If they have committed any military offense, court-martial them according to law. The law is clear. You should take the disciplinary action within. There is a time frame. There is a constitutional time frame within which to take disciplinary action. If these people are innocent, free them. Let them go back and continue to serve the country, and even let them go and reunite with their family. But if it is a dismissible offense, dismiss them, let them go and start life. But you keep people without knowing their fate, and these are people who have served this country. You cannot operate under this kind of atmosphere and expect results. Where would the result come from? It is such kind of modus operandi is counterproductive. So we challenge the government that we should change. You cannot be doing something over and over using the same formula and expect a different result. You cannot. So how can you detain over 300 soldiers after they have sacrifice a lot for the country. I say 3,300 after they have sacrificed a lot for the country. You court martial them. What is delaying the court martial? If you don't have enough personnel in court martial, there are a lot of lawyers who are not doing anything. You recruit them into the system so that they will do this work. But you cannot be detaining soldiers, and the detention facility is not fit for human being. That is what Femi Falana was saying. So we cannot continue like that. Free those ones that are innocent, those ones that are guilty, you give them punishment. Usually some of them is suspension, some of them is even to go and cut grass, some of them is dismissal. So you met the punishment according to their offenses. Those who are innocent, you free them. Those who doesn't have evidence against them, you free them. But you go and lump over 300 able-bodied, energetic young men. It's not helping the country. And then another factor is that when you send these security men to this field, they should be coming back for as at when due. You don't just go and keep somebody in Meduguri 2 years, 3 years without coming back, without coming to see his family, without having some kind of recreational break. You just go. It has a way. That's why some of them are stressed, some of them are fatigued, some of them are depressed. So most of these things you see, you hear soldiers doing this or police doing this, is as a result of stress and fatigue. And then please, let's pay these men their allowance. Even the allowance they pay them is not enough. Like the soldier that complained that about 2 or 3 weeks ago that when he applied for leave, they reluctantly granted him 2 weeks leave. That when he came and asked for the transport back to his base, that his salary cannot transport him back to his base and return him back. So he had decided to just send the transport to his family to take care of.
So you can imagine.
So can you imagine the kind of level where the
mental health issue here, because
so he had to go back. He said he cannot go, and because he made that social media video, that he will be court-martialed. So you can see the kind of mental trauma they are subjecting our servicemen to. So we cannot continue like this.
We are doing this to ourselves. And well, you started this conversation from an angle of Governor of Nasarawa not subscribing to have an ethnic nationality, to have vigilante group.
Yes.
And with time somehow it will turn to be something very unacceptable. That's the perspective of the
yes. Recently Muryar Allah has launched an ethnic vigilante, which is causing a lot of ripples in the security.
Before you continue on this, I was just wanted to say that now you asked the question, why in the first place an ethnic nationality will want to have a vigilante? Is because probably they have perceived that not being protected, and so probably if they would now mount a group from amongst them, probably they would be certain that their security is sure. And then, but which ethnic nationality will boast of having a group that protects her own people?
Now, if we begin to have like recently, Muryar Allah just launched their security outfit. They flunked it at Nasarawa State.
Yes.
It caused a lot of ripples to the extent that even the federal government are trying to prosecute the person that flunked that security outfit. If the government allows such things to continue, then you begin to have Igon security outfit. You have Alago security outfit. You have all these tribes will begin to have Tif security outfit. Now, that is a recipe for disaster. That is a recipe for ethnic militia. Once you say these are ethnic vigilante, it's automatically there is only a thin line between ethnic vigilante and ethnic militia. So that is where we will begin to have problems.
All right.
It is even better the vigilante arrangement we have now. They have been very, very useful.
Accommodate people from all religions and
what we have in Jos. I think it's okay. Like during the Salah, you could see the vigilante from different tribes
and religion
come together and walk in the mosques. And during Christmas, the same thing. So, like during the issue of Yalwan Zangam, one of the military officer and the then DPO of Nasarawa Division and the Katako Division, they came together and said, okay, why can't both tribes come up with a number of young men? They will be oriented and then has given or a security orientation, trained, and then they will serve as vigilante.
Right.
And since then, we never had the issue of Yalwan Zangam again. But just imagine we have a tribal vigilante. It will not help.
For instance,
yes,
yes,
you will not say Anabuta security outfit. Then you have Fulani security outfit. That is a recipe for disaster.
Wow, thank you so much, Barrister, for this wonderful revelations. It's time for a short break. Prof, otherwise I would have loved to hear from you. But then, we'll go on a short break. And when we come back, I'm sure Prof and Barrister Zaruma will still again. But by the way, it's going to be your own time. Just stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way.
It concerns you. It kill love, it kill dreams. It land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again.
All right, thank you so much. It's 3 minutes down the hour of 9 o'clock, and this is the last segment of Unity Train on Unity 93.3 FM from the hills of ZINARIYA. I know some probably you're watching, you're following from outside Nigeria. This is Nigeria, and of course it's a great country, and I have in the studio two gentlemen that strongly believe in the greatness of this country. And of course, but every morning they volunteer to be in the studio, so we get talking about how much contribution that is expected of every individual, so to make it great every day. That's what it is, and it has been Professor Proveno Mayi and Barrister Paul Zaruma. Now it's time for you to join the conversations. We've been talking about curbing with insecurity in Plateau State, if you like. You can put it in Nigeria. If you like, by extension, they can put it in Africa and the world over. Let's talk about insecurity. 07032353315 is the studio line. I will call it again. 07032353315. And again, that let me not just continue in pretense like I do not know what is happening. We've not been able to read of your comments from the Facebook and also your SMS or text messages. We truly apologize. It's not in our power to be able to do that, but we really appreciate the fact that you have always been there. God's willing, tomorrow next edition, we'll be able to read your comments on Facebook and also the text messages. It's as a result of unforeseen live circumstances, but we are working to to overcome that. Thank you so much. Your name, location, everything in 1 minute. Hello, good morning. We lost that. 070-3235-3315. And yesterday we talked about warning about heavy downpour this year, flooding, and we have it in Jos recently, and so let's be proactive. This is another issue also that on this platform we'll always talk about it. Hello, good morning. We lost that to 070-3235-3315. And if you call your name and location, everything in 1 minute. Remember the comments made on this platform.
Maybe while the courts are stabilizing, let me just make a comment about coping with insecurity. You see, the reason why we're beginning to have tribal militia and the rest is that they have observed that when Amotekun came, it scaled through. The Southeast Security Network, Ebuebagu, came scaled through. And then others felt, wow, they're having these regional, kind of security networks. Why don't we begin to have our own? So we can have our own Mieti Allah, we can have Birom, we can have Angaz, Anaguta,
and Irigwe.
Security networking and other things. Now, this is all because of the failure of government, the failure of security in the country, because the government is not putting her foot on the ground, stamping her foot and insisting that our security chiefs should perform. Do you know that Ukraine and Russia are at war currently? But just in February this year, Volodymyr Zelensky fired the top military commander. General Zolunzi was removed. He dismissed him and appointed somebody else in the midst of war. And then we have security chiefs that are not performing. The president is not doing anything. He's just leaving them to keep their jobs. Until we begin to hold our security chiefs accountable.
Maybe underperforming.
When they are underperforming or not even performing, fire the Inspector General of Police. Why is he still there? Fire the Chief of Army Staff. Why is he still there? Fire the Chief of Defense Staff. Fire all of them. Let them lose their jobs. Bring in a new set. Give them 3 months. If they don't perform, fire them.
This is security, Prof. This insecurity issue has gone too far that you wonder if there's any security chief that will be able to.
The security chiefs are relaxed because their jobs are secured. There is nothing at stake. They know whether they perform or not, they will remain there. Look at when Buhari was in power. Those security chiefs remained there perpetually. Even when they were supposed to retire, the Burates and the rest of them, he allowed them to continue. So when you know that mediocrity is tolerated by a government, you will not put in your best.
All right. We have a caller here. Good morning.
Thank you. And
yes.
This voice sounds like IK.
It's good to have you. You have a minute, please.
Thank you. You see, when we are talking about building an individual rather than building an institution, that's when we got it right in terms of fighting insecurity. It's just like what Ross is saying. Just for somebody to come up and become either IG or police or the head the armed forces. Look at how many tangible Nigerians in the force have to lose their job. Compulsory retirement. Just because you want somebody who you want to come and head that there. And these are people who have been trained with taxpayers' money, Nigerian payers' money, that have ways of even bringing their knowledgeable status into the country. But you just float them off. It's just what we're saying about all this corruption. Must we resort to this issue? Why is it that we find it difficult to hold these people accountable when they are committing this atrocity? Must we finish us before we start asking you where's our money? Thank you, my brother.
Thank you. We Mr. Ike Kylo. 07032353315 is the studio line, and make sure that you don't get too tilt towards the comments or statements that are capable of undermining the integrity of any individual or group of individuals. Hello, good morning.
Could be good morning.
Good morning, it's good to have you.
This is Jusa from Joshua.
It's good to have you, Jetad. It's been a while.
My brother, thank you very much as well.
You're welcome, amen.
You know, in this our great country, that people will be misbehaving. Imagine our girls that were kidnapped by Boko Haram came back with almost 32 children. 32 Boko Haram, I can call them children.
34
in society, because a thief, if a thief gives a bed, the blood will be flowing inside their child. You understand?
Okay.
It's only in this our country that this kind of thing will happen. The no way can never happen.
Right.
You understand?
Okay.
The government of the day is supposed to go inside that bush and deal with these people mercilessly because they are not human beings. Good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Jude Sad. Mr. Jude Sad seems to be sad this morning.
Yes,
emotional.
it's actually very saddening. Last time we spoke that let our security agency not lead in the propaganda. Let them lead in the war. Leading in the propaganda is not helping us at all. It's just like living in denial.
All right.
Yes. So when you keep on hearing that thousands of these things were killed through air raid, hundreds of people are killed through, these are all propaganda.
Okay, Barrister. Hello, you're welcome. Good morning. Okay, we'll try to have as many calls as possible since we may not be able to read your comments anywhere, whether Facebook or text messages. So we'll do our best to receive as many calls as possible. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr.
Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Vital. I'm calling from Congo. Good morning to the folks in the house and the
Umar Shamma.
All right, you have a minute.
I want to add to this issue of security in our country, especially in our Plateau state. Any civil is approaching, peace and peace. Let our governor, let them to be our sincere, to by farmers, you understand, so that they can easily do farm, so that we will reduce this hardship.
Thank you.
Our society, so that we have especially our from local government cannot even take it for granted.
All right.
So we are giving a lot of development like Mongo local government and Bokos and the other local government.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, it's 1 minute already. Please, if you call, just make sure you stick to it. Just 1 minute. I can give it to Mr. Ike Kalu each time he calls. In fact, he makes his wonderful submissions less than a minute. If you can do that, I would again appreciate. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you.
My name is Anas Bala. I'm calling from Shirye here in Gombe State.
Oh, great. It's good to have you. So, what do we have this morning?
I regard you and the guests on the platform.
You're welcome.
And I comment on the issue of a case of gun duty and corruption allegations that make the APC as a decision from the grassroots. This is right, and we are hoping and praying that we are urging also the stakeholders that are responsible for investigation, or rather with regard to the case of
yes.
So that we can have a good representation of the EFCC and the rest of the governmental agencies that are responsible for fighting against corruption in this country. And it will, one of the significant of this, it will bring the positive impact to the Progressive Congress ruling party.
Thank
we
you.
are hoping and praying that the court will do this to that they are doing the action if that became guilty, so that it will be different to others. And thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right, thank you. Calling all the way from Gombe.
From Gombe. Gombe is my second home.
Oh, seriously? You remind me of Dr. Isa Abdullahi, and I hope, Isa, you're doing well.
Hello, is that Rimin Kashere?
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. It's good to have you already.
Yes, good morning, Barry, Zaruma, and the folks in the studio over there. And Adamu, good morning, sir.
You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Yeah, this is Dauda Kabon.
Dauda Kabon, it's been a while, so let's have your submission in a minute.
Yeah, in fact, I'm so grateful to see what Zuma has. You see, if you should see, if you go through the minutes about insecurity, if you go out, I bet you, most of these people are most of these military people that have been, just you will just see, they will just sack you unnecessarily.
Okay.
I have something, just like for example, you hear that there is an attack, and you will see that certificate belongs to the military. You will be wondering, how did that come from? How did they do that? Because most of these things, all these our top military men don't want to see it. They want to go
You know,
like peace is the end of their money. You will see people with having and you will not have money to go back. So in fact, I just appreciate everything.
Thank you.
Without even kind of like that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dauda Kabon. Well, I didn't get that too well, but of course, we have wonderful officers that are doing great in all of the security agencies that we have, and of course, they are still bent and they are living up to their expectations. And we just pray that what they're doing, that they will have the strength and enabling a platform to continue to do that which they're sworn in to do. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Sule, for calling. You have a minute. You have a minute. Thank you so much for calling.
Yeah, one thing I recently and the honorable Barista, definitely the national settlement membership, but I see the data directly. It is the failure of the government that needs all this thing to be happening at one again in today. If the government will conspire any other commission or this is we know that the government is still alive. So I hope they will do the Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sule from Lasisi. A wonderful job there. He couldn't get to use his 1 minute. I think I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Kubi. Good morning, Barista. Good morning, God. In the house.
You're welcome.
God bless you. My name is Nahude was calling from Terminus.
Okay, Mr. Kingsley.
What we are saying this morning is about our currency in Naira. Has the EFCC arrested the market woman who come to Terminus where they are using this Naira? So what I'm saying is what is good for the youth is good for the Gentiles. Here they come out and tell the people, inform them, this is why you are storing our Naira, this is what. We are so that everybody will know. You don't want somebody start spreading money in the world, you will come and arrest you. Then another one is the issue of Danduje. Here in Terminus, what we are calling him is $10 because 2018, everybody see how the video went viral to show how he was pocketing dollars every year, his barbaric cards. Then another thing is, Mr. Buhari come to power saying he's fighting corruption. Now, Tinubu have come again fighting the same corruption. Why APC people are doing us like this? This corruption, at the end of it, finishing fighting it. Every day, this one is fighting corruption during Buhari. This one is fighting corruption. Let them know that people are suffering. Not every day, corruption. What about Abacha Root? Where is the money? Where it is?
All right.
When they bring the money, they will now share the money within them. You understand? So this is what I want to say.
All right.
Okay,
thank you so much, Mr. Kingsley Barnabas. Corruption is not something you fight and...
Let's fight against corruption.
Yes, and I think that is very true because corruption shouldn't be something you fight and not continue to fight it every day. It's something you do on a daily basis.
The problem Mr. Barnabas is raising is that we are not seeing the results of the fight.
Yes, probably. Hello, as expected. Hello, someone is here already. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is I'm calling from Finai.
All right, thank you. You have a minute, please.
Yes, I will comment again. And actually, my comment this morning on the issue that is happening in our politics in Nigeria
All right.
at the national level, both in the APC and PDP. But especially what is happening in the national leader of the PDP is an unfortunate issue. You see, in Nigeria, we are always considering the constitution. It seems like this constitution is working for the poor man, is not working for the rich man. Because when I get what is happening in the and the perception of the Gandhi at the world level, coming to the perception of him at the national level. So people are giving reason that it's just percent at the world level because they don't have that power.
Oh, thank you.
To tell you that if it is constitutionally that they have to be suspended from the world level, it is legally suspended. So I think if you have an allegation, you're not supposed to be collecting a political position.
All right.
Because the kind of corrupted allegation that was released is something that is very, very inconsiderable as a party. So that's what I want to say to you.
Thank you so much, Sadiq Umar. 07032353315, and it's about time for us to pack things and get out of the studio. But before then, maybe one or two more calls.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
It's Kayatarwa from Misali.
It's good to have you. Please go on.
Yeah, my issue is about this Ganduje issues.
Okay.
It's the last time that Ganduje, you was a governor, and nothing happened because of that amnesty. So the people that make that
immunity,
amnesty,
yes. Immunity.
They make it so that the governor will have chance to do the good things.
Yes.
Now they use that opportunity to collect bribes and other bad things that they used to do.
Thank
You
you.
see that amnesty, the people that created that amnesty, they created it so that people will enjoy and they will allow the governor to do the good thing.
All right, thank you. My Nasara is talking about immunity.
Given to the governors and the president, and others. Ganduje doesn't have any more immunity. So
as the
EFCC
national president.
should investigate him.
All right, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you.
This is the Radio Senator, calling from Matasa.
Radio Senator, you happen to be the last caller today. Go on in a minute, please.
Thank you very much, my brother. You see, the issue of Ganduje, I think we Nigerians, we get the rest and the leaders, I think we should do away with this politics of better. The better will not make this country good.
All right.
Because today, we are in office. Tomorrow, we will not be there. And somebody outside will be in office and continue to run stuff. Now I have to do that. We have to do that.
All right. Thank you.
The governor in Ghana will concentrate more on governance instead of fighting the wild good thing. It doesn't make us any good at all as a country. I think we should go away with this thing that better.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And that's the much we can take. And we have 2 minutes to be out of here. And I begin with Barrister Zaruma. Less than a minute. Let's see what you can make out of that, Barrister.
In less than a minute, I will say that I will say the Ganduje dollar stuffing video will haunt him. The ghost of that video will haunt him for the rest of his life. And if it is not careful, in the usual African context, it may even haunt his children.
Oh my.
So it's quite unfortunate. So as we live there, politicians, let us be careful, let us be honest in office, let us be sincere, and let us be God-fearing. I wish the listeners, they should have a blissful day.
Thank you so much, Barrister. Props.
Well, Ganduje should clear his name because there are serious allegations against him. And if he doesn't clear his name, like Barrister said, this will haunt him, continually. About what Mr. Kingsley said, the Chubana priest or whatever is in court. Bobrisky has been sentenced to 6 months in prison for abusing the Naira. But this is selective justice because there are many other videos of people spreading the Naira, dancing on it, but they have not been arrested. But let's hope that EFCC are just starting and they will spread their dragnet and get more culprits. So viewers and listeners, I want to encourage us. Please, let's not give up on our country, Nigeria. Remember, security begins with you. Secure yourself first, ensure there is security around your family and then your community. Do whatever you can do for yourself, and then hoping that the government will be able to do the rest, and then God will protect all the rest of us. But let's be hopeful. Where there is life, there is hope. So let's rise up each day with great expectation, with a lot of energy, and pursue our dreams and our goals in life. And while we do that, always remember to be the change that you want to see in the world.
Thank you so much, Prof, for taking us on such a wonderful ride. And Barrister Zaruma, thank you so much for always being in the studio. Our listener, thank you for always being there. Tomorrow, we will be here again. Before I say bye-bye, I would love to say thank you to the following people. Victor Bamshak, Daniel, Adam, and then the crew who made this possible, our GSM and Shamsuddin Kabir, and I also have DJ Baz is taking care of the radio on there, and engineer Habib. And thank you so much, everyone. Tomorrow is going to be another lovely day. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion?